All right, so you know how we're always diving into these online money-making things? Well, this one caught my eye. It's a YouTube video, How I Make Money with Google Maps, Make Money Online 2024, by a guy named Jason Wardrop. And he's
Oh,
saying,
yeah, I've seen that one.
yeah, have you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so I think I know where this is going.
Yeah, well, he's claiming you can make like $100 to $200 a day using
Yeah.
Google Maps. He calls it a blue ocean strategy, which always makes me a little skeptical, but we're going to break it down.
Sounds good.
See what's what. See if this Google Maps method actually works.
All right.
And what's really involved. And what's the takeaway for you listening, even if you've never, run an online business or anything. That's our deep dive today.
Yeah, let's unpack this blue ocean and see if it holds water.
Okay, so Wardrop's pitch is that a ton of local businesses, they're basically invisible on Google Maps. And they're losing customers because of it.
Right. Yeah, it makes sense. Think about it. When you're looking for a restaurant or a plumber, where do you go first?
Google Maps.
Exactly. So if a business isn't showing up there or their information's all messed up, they're missing out big time.
Okay, so he's saying he helps these businesses by getting them claimed on Google My Business, verifying their info on Google Maps. Then he works on getting them more positive reviews, which are basically like digital gold these days, right?
Totally. Reviews are everything. It's social proof.
Yeah.
You know they can make or break a business.
Oh, for sure.
A couple of bad reviews and people are running scared.
Yeah.
And then there's all the other stuff, like making sure their hours are right,
Yeah.
adding a link to their website, all those little details that make a difference.
Right. It's all part of building that complete profile. So they look legit. And he talks about getting them listed on other platforms too, like Yelp and Angie's List.
Yes, citations.
Citations, right?
It's not just about those big names, though. Think industry-specific directories, local news sites,
Yeah.
any place online that mentions the business.
So Google sees those citations as a good sign.
Exactly. It's like a vote of confidence. Google sees that and thinks, okay, this business is legit. They're the real deal.
And the more citations, the better.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It helps them rank higher in local search results.
Okay, so Wardrop's putting together this whole package to make these businesses stand out. Makes sense. But how does he actually find these businesses that need help? Is he just like randomly searching Google Maps all day?
Well, he gave an example in the video. He searched for plumbers near Bentonville, Arkansas.
Okay.
And boom, he found 2 plumbing businesses right away, Jerry's Plumbing and Midland Plumbing. Almost no online presence.
Really?
No website. Hardly any reviews. Not even claimed on Google My Business.
So he's targeting specific niches. And he found potential clients right away. That seems almost too easy.
Right.
But finding those businesses is just the first step. You still have to convince them to hire you.
Oh, yeah, that's where it gets tricky. Cold calling. Emailing. Not always fun.
Businesses get bombarded with those sales pitches all the time.
Exactly. You got to stand out somehow.
So what's his strategy?
Well, he suggests a couple of things. Direct phone calls,
Okay.
which can be more personal.
Yeah.
But also more intrusive,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
The other option is using contact forms on their websites.
A little less direct.
Yeah, but it might be more effective.
Yeah.
Especially if they're already wary of salespeople.
Right.
But either way, he says the key is to highlight that lack of online presence.
Play on that fear of missing out.
Exactly. Like,
Yep.
hey, your competitors are ranking higher on Google Maps, and you're losing customers to them.
Oh, I can see how that would be persuasive.
Right.
Makes you think, man, I really need to get on this. So let's say a business bites. How does he actually deliver?
He talks about 2 options. You can learn to do the work yourself, or you can outsource it.
Outsource it.
Yeah, he says there are tons of free YouTube tutorials on how to optimize a Google My Business profile, get citations, all that stuff.
Okay.
But he also shows how to find someone on Fiverr to do it for you.
Fiverr.
Yeah.
And he found people offering Google Maps services for just $5.
$5.
That's cheaper than a fancy coffee.
I know, right?
But how good can the work be for that price?
That's a great question. It definitely makes you wonder about the quality.
Yeah.
We actually took a look at some of those Fiverr gigs,
Yeah.
and there are some red flags. Some sellers are promising crazy results, like guaranteeing top rankings, which is impossible to guarantee.
Yeah.
And some of the profiles are just a mess. Grammatical errors, typos, not exactly inspiring confidence.
Yikes. You don't want to hand over a client's business to someone who doesn't know what they're doing.
Nope.
So there's a real risk there. But let's say you find a good Fiverr person, or you learn to do it yourself. How does the money-making part actually work?
Okay, so Wardrop says you should charge businesses,
Yeah.
$100 to $200 for the initial setup.
Okay.
And then you upsell them on monthly services
Mm-hmm.
like website creation, review management, ongoing Google optimization
Yeah.
for another $200 to $300 per month.
So the initial setup is like the foot in the door, and the
Yeah.
real money's in those recurring monthly clients.
Exactly. And he says if you can get just one new client per day, you'd be making $9,000 in monthly recurring revenue.
Wow.
It's over $100,000 a year.
That sounds amazing. But I'm a little skeptical. That would mean finding 30 new clients every single month.
Yeah.
How much time and effort would that actually take?
That's where it gets interesting.
Yeah, because even if you're good at sales, you're talking about constant outreach, follow-ups, dealing with rejections.
It's a lot of work.
And let's not forget the elephant in the room. Wardrop keeps talking about this blue ocean strategy. But is this Google Maps optimization market really that untapped?
I did some digging. And it turns out there are tons of companies already offering these services.
Really?
Yeah, it's a competitive market.
So you're not just competing with other solopreneurs, you're going up against established agencies with bigger budgets, more resources.
Yeah.
So this blue ocean might be a little more crowded than Wardrop lets on.
Might be.
And if it's that competitive, it could be even harder to land those clients and hit those income goals.
Right.
And there are other things to consider too, like the long-term viability of this business model. What if Google changes its algorithm?
Oh, yeah, that happens all the time.
And if those changes make it harder to rank on Google Maps, your whole business could be in trouble.
Yeah, you got to be prepared for that.
Or what if Fiverr raises its prices? Suddenly those profit margins you were counting on shrink.
That's true.
So nothing is guaranteed in the online world.
Definitely not.
You always have to be prepared for things to change. So while this Google Maps method seems promising on the surface, there are definitely some potential downsides and risks to consider.
For sure.
We've uncovered a lot here. This Google Maps method might be a way to make money online, but it's not a magic bullet. It takes work, strategy, and you have to be aware of the risks. But I think the bigger takeaway here is the importance of critical thinking. You can't just take someone's word for it, even if they seem successful on YouTube. You have to do your research. Ask the tough questions. Be realistic about the challenges.
Absolutely. And, it's not just about making money. It's also about building a sustainable business that provides real value to clients.
Right.
If you're just trying to game the system.
Right.
Or cut corners, you're not going to last very long.
Right.
But if you focus on providing quality services that genuinely help businesses, you're building something with real staying power.
That's a great point. So for someone who's intrigued by this idea but wants to explore further, what's the best place to start?
I'd recommend checking out Google's own guidelines for local businesses. They have a lot of resources on how to optimize your Google My Business profile, improve your local SEO, and there are some great industry blogs and forums dedicated to SEO and online marketing.
Okay, so Google's guidelines, industry blogs, forums.
Exactly. Just be careful to stick to reputable sources. There's a lot of misinformation out there.
Yeah, good point. And as always, be wary of anyone promising get-rich-quick schemes or guaranteed results. Building a successful online business takes time, effort, and a commitment to ethical practices. But hey, maybe this deep dive has sparked an idea for you. Who knows? Maybe you're the next Google Maps optimization guru.
I love that energy. It's all about finding what works for you, doing your homework, and being willing to put in the effort.
Exactly. And remember, we're here to help you navigate the world of online business, so keep exploring, keep learning, and stay tuned for more deep dives.
And it's not just about finding 30 clients a month.
Right.
It's also about the quality of service you can provide.
You're saying, even if you can find enough clients to hit those income goals, can you actually deliver the results to justify those fees?
That's exactly it. Remember those $5 Fiverr gigs?
Yeah.
Can you really expect top-notch quality for that price?
Probably not.
And if you're trying to do it all yourself, are you really an expert in all of this? Google My Business optimization, website creation, review management.
Right. It's like you need to be a one-person marketing agency.
Yeah, kind of. And if you're not careful, you could spread yourself too thin and end up not doing anything well.
So what's the alternative?
Well, I think there are more sustainable approaches, more ethical approaches too.
Okay. How's that?
Instead of trying to game the system with fake reviews or spammy citations, focus on building a genuine online presence.
Okay.
Encourage real customers to leave reviews. Get involved in the local community. Build relationships with other businesses.
So it's more about playing the long game.
Yeah, exactly. Building a reputation. for quality and trustworthiness.
And that takes time.
It does, but it's a much more sustainable way to build a business.
I think that's a really important point. It's easy to get caught up in the hype of making quick money online, but real success comes from providing value, building trust,
Right.
and focusing on the long term.
I couldn't agree more. And, even if you decide not to pursue this specific Google Maps method, I think there are still some valuable takeaways here.
Like what should our listeners be thinking about, even if they're not interested in becoming Google Maps experts?
Well, first of all, this whole thing highlights the importance of online visibility. For any business, no matter what industry you're in, you need to make sure you're showing up on Google Maps
Yeah.
and that your information is accurate and up to date.
Yeah, it's like having a digital storefront. If your storefront is a mess, no one's going to want to come in.
Exactly. And secondly, this deep dive reinforces the need for critical thinking.
Right.
Don't just believe everything you see online, especially when it comes to making money.
Yeah, do your research.
Exactly. Ask questions. Be realistic about the challenges and the potential downsides.
That's great advice, and it applies to any online business opportunity, not just Google Maps optimization. Okay, so we've explored the potential of this Google Maps method, we've analyzed the risks, and we've highlighted some important takeaways for all listeners. But I'm curious, what stands out to you as the biggest hurdle someone would need to overcome if they were to pursue this?
That's a good question. I think it really boils down to mindset.
Okay.
It's easy to get seduced by the idea of easy money, but building a successful business, even in a niche like Google Maps optimization, it takes a lot of hard work,
Yeah.
dedication, and resilience.
You're saying it's not just about learning the technical skills, it's also about developing the right entrepreneurial mindset.
Absolutely. You need to be comfortable with sales, marketing,
Mm.
client management, all the other aspects of running a business.
And you need to be prepared for setbacks, challenges.
Oh yeah, those are inevitable.
So it's not for the faint of heart?
Definitely not. But for those who are willing to put in the effort and are passionate about helping businesses succeed online, it could be a rewarding path.
Okay, so if you're listening and you're thinking about giving this Google Maps method a shot, here's our advice. Go in with your eyes wide open. Understand the work involved. Be aware of the risks. And most importantly, be honest with yourself about your skills, your resources, and your commitment level.
And remember, knowledge is power. The more you learn about Google Maps, local SEO, and online marketing in general, the better equipped you'll be to make informed decisions.
I think that's a great place to wrap up part 2. We've covered a lot of ground, but there's always more to explore. In part 3, we'll dive into some additional considerations and resources that can help you on your journey. Stay tuned. Okay, so welcome back to part 3 of this deep dive into making money with Google Maps. I feel like we've been all over this.
From the potential, to the risks, to the competition, even the ethics of it all, it's a lot.
Yeah, it is. And, I think it's important to remember that this is just one perspective. There are so many ways to approach this Google Maps optimization thing. What works for one person might not work for another.
So no one-size-fits-all solution?
Nope. It really depends on your skills, your experience, what you want to get out of it.
But even if you're not planning to quit your job and become like a full-time Google Maps guru, I think there's some really good lessons here. For anyone who's thinking about making money online, definitely. This whole deep dive has really highlighted the importance of critical thinking, doing your research, and being honest with yourself about what you're good at.
You can't just jump into any opportunity that pops up.
No way.
You have to do your homework, weigh the pros and cons,
Yeah.
and be prepared for the tough stuff.
And,
Yeah.
it's not always just about the money. If you can help a business connect with their customers and really thrive in the digital world, that's pretty cool.
It's about finding that sweet spot where what you're good at and what you're passionate about aligns with a real need.
Exactly. And sometimes that takes a little experimenting.
Yeah, you might have to try a few things before you find the right fit.
But that's all part of the process.
I like that. It's a journey.
It is.
And it's not about overnight success. It's about learning, growing, and finding what works for you.
Couldn't have said it better myself. And speaking of finding what works for you, I wanted to mention a couple of resources that might be helpful. We already talked about Google's own guidelines for local businesses, but there are also some fantastic websites and communities out there all about SEO and online marketing.
Oh, yeah, like Moz and Search Engine Land.
Those are great ones. They've got tons of articles,
Yeah.
guides, even courses that can really help you understand SEO.
And if you're looking for more hands-on help, there are online communities and forums too.
Yeah, lots of them. You can connect with other SEO professionals, get advice from people who've been doing this for years.
It's all about finding the right resources and the right support system.
Exact.
But I think the most important thing is to approach this whole online business thing with a sense of curiosity and a willingness to learn.
Couldn't agree more. The online world is always changing.
It's true.
So you have to be adaptable, resourceful, and always learning new things.
And we're here to help you along the way. We're always exploring new topics, uncovering new insights.
Sharing what we learn.
So stay tuned for more deep dives. And in the meantime, keep those entrepreneurial spirits burning bright.
Who knows what you might discover?
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into the world of Google Maps and making money online. We hope you found it helpful, interesting, and maybe even a little bit inspiring. Remember, the best way to learn is by doing. So go out there, explore your options, and see what you can create. Until next time, keep learning, keep growing, and keep diving deep.